Some say love is just an emotion. Others believe it's destiny. But beneath every heartbeat, every stolen glance, every flutter in your chest, there's something more. A secret world of molecules, hormones, and electric whispers, quietly shaping who we fall for, how we connect, and why we can't forget. Tonight, we'll explore that hidden chemistry, the invisible dance of dopamine, oxytocin, pheromones, and the brain's extraordinary orchestra that turns affection into obsession and attachment into eternity. Before we begin, I invite you to close your eyes, let your breathing slow down, and allow my voice to guide you on a peaceful journey through the hidden chemistry of love. Get ready to discover some of the most curious, surprising, and fascinating facts about this mysterious force, all told in a calm, soothing way, perfect for relaxing, learning, and drifting away. Imagine your brain as a glowing city at night. Each neuron is a tiny light, flickering as signals travel through the skyline of your mind. When you meet someone new, one single spark, smaller than a grain of sand, ignites a chain reaction that spreads through your brain in seconds. Dopamine surges like fireworks across the neural sky, and in that moment, your mind whispers, "This person could mean something." Your pupils widen. Your heart begins to race. Your skin warms. It isn't magic, it's chemistry in motion. You are being gently pulled by the most powerful biological force known to humankind, the desire to bond. Dopamine gives you energy, excitement, and focus. That's why you can think of nothing else when you're in love. Endorphins wrap that intensity in pleasure, softening the edges of reality. And serotonin? Well, that's the molecule that makes you lose balance. The one that dips when you fall for someone, leaving you restless, daydreaming, replaying conversations in your mind like a beautiful obsession. But nature isn't cruel. It's strategic. This chemical storm isn't chaos, it's design. Your body is trying to connect two beings strongly enough to survive, to nurture, to protect one another. Love, in its deepest essence, is biology's masterpiece, evolution's way of keeping us together long enough to create and care for life. If you enjoy these peaceful journeys through science and wonder, make sure to subscribe and stay with me as we gently uncover more secrets like this one. Together, we'll wander through the soft, invisible layers of the universe, where reason meets emotion and chemistry becomes poetry. Now imagine the first moment of touch. The skin is our largest organ, filled with sensors so delicate they can detect a movement thinner than a strand of hair. When you touch someone you love, those sensors send electrical signals to your brain in less than 1/100th of a second. Instantly, cortisol, the stress hormone, begins to drop. Oxytocin flows in, spreading calm and warmth like sunlight through water. That's why a simple hug can silence anxiety. Oxytocin is sometimes called the bonding molecule, but it's more than that. It changes the way we perceive another person. It makes their face seem softer, their words more comforting. It creates a sense of safety, the feeling that you're finally home, even when you're miles away from it. At the same time, dopamine keeps the flame burning bright. That's the chemical of curiosity, the one that pushes you to learn, explore, and chase what you desire. Love is, in many ways, dopamine's favorite experiment, a balance between comfort and mystery, between safety and excitement. When you hear the voice of someone you care about, your amygdala, the brain's fear center, calms down. The voice becomes a signal of safety. Even newborn babies recognize their mother's voice before they see her face. that same mechanism stays with us forever. Every I love you is a biochemical melody that tells your brain you're not alone. And yet love isn't only sweetness, it's also risk. Every connection means opening doors inside yourself that expose the most fragile parts. The body knows it. That's why your pulse quickens, your breathing changes, your senses heighten. Love makes you alert, alive. It's a state of vulnerability that nature rewards with the deepest pleasure known to the brain. In moments like these, even time bends. When you look into someone's eyes, the brain's internal clock slows down. Seconds stretch into eternity. You're experiencing what scientists call temporal distortion, caused by surges of adrenaline and dopamine. In love, time doesn't disappear. It expands. So, as you listen, breathe deeply. Let the chemistry unfold inside your imagination. Picture the molecules swirling like soft lights, invisible, but endlessly powerful. Every heartbeat you've ever felt for someone wasn't just emotion. It was billions of atoms aligning for a single purpose, to connect. Because love, in all its chaos and beauty, is the most extraordinary experiment the universe has ever created. And you are its living result. When two people touch, something ancient awakens. A memory older than words, older than thought. Skin meets skin, and instantly, a quiet conversation begins. Electrical signals travel through millions of tiny receptors, rushing to the brain in a fraction of a second. In that single instant, stress begins to melt. Cortisol drops. Oxytocin rises. Your heartbeat slows. The body recognizes safety before the mind does. That's the silent chemistry of touch. An invisible bond written in molecules, not words. In fact, holding hands can literally synchronize two people's heartbeats. Their breathing falls into rhythm. Their brainwaves begin to mirror each other's patterns. Science calls it interpersonal synchrony. But in the language of love, it's simply called connection. A gentle kiss is an entire symphony of reactions. Over 80 million bacteria are exchanged in just one kiss. A strange, microscopic intimacy, but also pheromones are released. These invisible scent molecules carry chemical messages straight to the brain's emotional center. You may not consciously smell them, but your subconscious does. It reads compatibility, immune strength, and even potential for offspring. That's why some kisses feel electric while others fade into nothing. The body knows before the mind decides. The scent of someone we love is one of the most powerful emotional anchors in existence. A familiar fragrance, the smell of their skin, their hair, the trace of their clothes, can lower anxiety, slow breathing, and flood the brain with memory chemicals. In studies, partners exposed to their loved one's scent slept more peacefully with fewer awakenings. Love, it turns out, can be inhaled. Even distance can't fully break the chemistry of love. Just hearing the voice of someone you care for triggers oxytocin, endorphins, and subtle shifts in blood pressure. The human voice carries unique vibrations that resonate with your nervous system. When you hear their tone, your brain releases dopamine, as if rewarding you simply for listening. Every syllable becomes a promise of safety. And then there's the eyes. When two people look deeply into each other's eyes, something extraordinary happens. The hormone oxytocin increases dramatically in both. It's the same chemical release between a mother and newborn when they first gaze at each other. That shared look can strengthen bonds, reduce fear, and even relieve pain. Eye contact, biologically speaking, is one of the purest forms of human connection. Halfway through this journey, I invite you to take a soft, deep breath. If you're enjoying this peaceful exploration into the mysteries of love and the mind, don't forget to subscribe so you can keep discovering these soothing truths with me every week. Together, we'll continue wandering through the beautiful borders between science and emotion. Now, imagine what happens inside your brain when you fall in love at first sight. The visual cortex lights up instantly. Your pupils dilate, releasing signals of attraction. The brain's reward circuits flare with dopamine. Adrenaline flows, creating the familiar racing heartbeat and trembling hands. It's the body preparing for connection, for discovery, for possibility. Love at first sight is not a fantasy. It's a chemical chain reaction. Your brain recognizes patterns of symmetry, scent, and subtle cues that match your internal map of attraction. It's like unlocking a code you didn't know existed, one shaped by evolution, experience, and desire. Scientists have found that simply looking at a photo of someone you love can activate the same brain regions as painkillers. Love literally soothes the nervous system. It's a built-in anesthesia for loneliness. But love also has its shadow. The same areas of the brain that light up when we feel passion, the reward circuits, are also involved in addiction. That's why longing feels like withdrawal, why heartbreak hurts physically. The brain doesn't distinguish between losing love and losing something it depends on for survival. Heartbreak activates the anterior cingulate cortex, the region responsible for processing both physical and emotional pain. That's why you feel an ache in your chest, a weight behind your ribs. But the body has its way of healing too. Tears shed from emotional pain contain stress hormones, literally cleansing the bloodstream. Crying is the chemistry of release, a biological reset, quietly teaching you how to let go. Even so, love leaves fingerprints. Every time you fall for someone, your brain rewires slightly. Neural pathways grow stronger in places linked to empathy, memory, and anticipation. You become more emotionally intelligent, more capable of understanding others. Love, even when lost, makes you wiser at the molecular level. Every laugh, every touch, every moment of silence between two hearts builds tiny bridges of chemistry, bridges that shape who we are, long after the moment has passed. It's as if the body remembers what the soul never forgets. And so, beneath all words, the body keeps speaking. Through hormones, through heartbeat, to the quiet pulse of connection. Love, in its purest form, is not something we do. It's something we become. As time passes, the fireworks of early love begin to quiet. The rush of dopamine softens, the pulse slows, and something steadier begins to bloom. A different kind of chemistry, no longer about excitement, but about safety, trust, and belonging. This is where oxytocin and vasopressin take the stage, transforming attraction into attachment and passion into partnership. When two people stay together over time, their brains literally rewire to reflect one another. Mirror neurons, the cells that help us feel empathy, begin to synchronize, allowing partners to sense each other's moods without a word. You've probably felt it before. That moment when someone you love sighs, and you sigh too, when their laughter makes your body relax. That's not coincidence. It's a shared neurochemical rhythm developed through closeness and time. Long-term love is a balance between calm and spark. Oxytocin provides the calm. It deepens trust, reduces fear, and increases generosity. Dopamine, on the other hand, keeps the flame alive. It rewards small gestures, a kiss, a shared memory, a touch on the arm, reminding the brain that this connection is worth protecting. When those two molecules dance together, love matures into something lasting. Love doesn't stop at romance. A parent holding their child, a friend comforting another, a pet waiting at the door. All these bonds are written in the same molecular language. When a mother looks into her baby's eyes, both release oxytocin in perfect harmony, creating a feedback loop of care. That bond is so strong that even years later, the memory of that child's scent or voice can calm her heartbeat. Friendship, too, is love in disguise. When you laugh with a friend until your cheeks hurt, endorphins flood your system, reducing pain and releasing tension. Laughter is a biological signal that says, you are safe here. That's why the people who make you laugh can also make you heal. Love doesn't just change our minds, it changes our biology. People in caring, supportive relationships often have stronger immune systems, lower blood pressure, and faster recovery times after illness. When we feel loved, the brain releases oxytocin, which reduces inflammation and helps regulate the heart. The body thrives in connection. It was built for it. Even our hormones begin to synchronize with those we love. Studies show that couples living together for long periods often develop similar cortisol rhythms. When one partner is stressed, the other unconsciously mirrors it, allowing them to respond with empathy and comfort. It's as if their bodies have learned each other's language, speaking through chemistry instead of sound. Memory itself becomes colored by love. When you recall someone you care about, the brain's reward center activates, releasing dopamine, the same response triggered by beauty, art, or music. That's why remembering love feels so vivid. It isn't nostalgia, it's a chemical echo, replaying the pleasure of connection. Even dreams carry traces of this bond. People often report dreaming of their loved ones when physically separated, and science shows that those dreams can reduce stress by activating similar neural circuits as real affection. The mind, it seems, continues loving even while the body sleeps. Love teaches the brain empathy. The more we care for others, the more our brain's anterior insula, the region linked to compassion, grows active. Every act of affection trains us to recognize emotion, pain, and joy in others. It's as if love refines the soul, molecule by molecule. Sometimes, though, love fades, and even that has its purpose. When chemistry shifts, the brain gently lowers oxytocin and dopamine to restore balance. The heartache that follows is part of the reset, the system learning how to stand alone again. But it never forgets. Neural pathways created by love remain, quietly waiting to spark again when connection returns. Even years later, a song, a scent, or a single photograph can awaken those pathways, flooding you with warmth or sorrow. That's not weakness. That's memory at its most human, the chemistry of attachment lingering like light on water. Love is our oldest teacher. It shapes the way we trust, the way we heal, the way we see ourselves. It's nature's way of reminding us that we were never meant to exist alone. So as you sit here, listening, breathing slowly, think of someone who made you feel truly seen. Notice how your body responds, the gentle warmth in your chest, the calm in your breath. That's love, quietly moving through your chemistry. Because love isn't only something we feel, it's something that builds us, molecule by molecule, into who we are. As we come to the final part of this journey, take a deep breath and imagine this, every molecule that makes you capable of love. The oxygen in your lungs, the iron in your blood, the carbon in your heart, was once part of a star. Billions of years ago, those stars exploded, scattering the ingredients of life through space. And slowly, patiently, those atoms found their way into oceans, plants, animals, and eventually into you. So when you love, when your heart beats faster for someone, when your chest feels full of light. It's the universe remembering itself. It's stardust recognizing stardust. Love is, in truth, the universe dreaming of connection through human form. Every spark of chemistry inside you is ancient. The dopamine that lights your mind with desire was born from the same atomic reactions that forged galaxies. The oxytocin that makes you hold someone close is a message written across time. Connection is survival. Even the electrical impulses of your heart are echoes of the first lightning that danced across the newborn earth. Love, then, isn't only human, it's cosmic. Every hug, every kiss, every shared heartbeat continues an experiment that began long before humanity existed. You are both the scientist and the experiment, the cause and the effect. And that's the quiet miracle hidden inside this chemistry. Our bodies are laboratories of emotion, powered by ancient elements, performing endless reactions of tenderness, curiosity, and wonder. We are the only creatures who can analyze love while feeling it, who can measure its molecules and still be moved to tears by it. Even animals share this mystery. Swans pair for life, wrapping their necks in mirrored embrace. Penguins exchange smooth pebbles as symbols of loyalty. Elephants mourn their lost companions, and dolphins form friendships that last decades. Across every species, the same molecular codes appear: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, repeating nature's timeless message: life is connection. And when love fades or changes form, its chemistry doesn't vanish. It transforms. The neural pathways remain, ready to awaken again when the right frequency of kindness or beauty appears. That's why even after heartbreak, you can still love again. The universe never stops conducting its quiet experiment. If you felt calm, inspired, or simply comforted during this journey, take a moment now to subscribe so you can join me again. Together, we'll keep exploring the hidden stories behind what we feel, science that speaks like poetry, and truth that feels like a dream. Because love is not just an emotion to understand, it's a rhythm to live by. It's the pulse that connects galaxies to hearts, atoms to thoughts, you to me, and all of us to everything that has ever existed. Even in silence, love speaks. In every heartbeat, every breath, every act of kindness, it whispers, "You belong." And that whisper, gentle, timeless, infinite, is the purest chemistry of all. So as you drift into stillness, let your mind float softly in the glow of that thought. The universe, vast and ancient, is not cold or distant. It is alive in you, feeling through you, loving through you. And somewhere out there, among stars still being born, the same chemistry continues, creating, connecting, remembering. Because the hidden chemistry of love never ends. It flows through everything, quietly, eternally, beautifully.